A common curiosity among beginning poker players is, how do you make money from the game? How do you profit in poker? Maybe you lose a little bit of money every time you play, and you see pros winning millions and seemingly turn a profit every time they sit down, and you're wondering, what's the secret? What do they do? Simply put, they just make fewer mistakes than their opponents make. Well, how do you make fewer mistakes? There's only 3 options you ever have when action is on you in a poker game. You can either fold, call, or raise. So to profit in poker, we just want to pick the value maximizing choice from these 3. Let's go through each and talk about how you would do each action profitably. First, we'll look at folding. We'll break it down between a pre-flop fold and a post-flop fold. Pre-flop folding is probably the easiest money you'll ever make in poker. It's money saved, but in poker, in the long run, that's the exact same thing, just as valuable as money earned. So fold 80% of the time. Only play the top 20% of hands. What this is going to do is make your decisions much easier, much more straightforward post-flop. If you connect with the board, you probably have the best hands. So bet, play aggressively. You'll get to showdown, your opponent will have a slightly worse hand, you'll win a nice sized pot. Post-flop folding is a little trickier, but you gotta learn how to make what we call big folds. If you have a hand like 2-pair, but you think that your opponent has a straight or a flush, if the board's wet, and chances are high, you gotta learn how to fold 2-pair hands or top pair when you think your opponent has a set or 2-pair. Let's talk about raising now. Raising is actually the best way to make money in poker. No secret why the game has gradually become more aggressive. The reason it's so good to make profit is there's 2 ways it can work. You can either win immediately by your opponent folding. So everything that was in the pot when your opponent folds is instant profit. Another way raising makes you money is it induces mistakes. So let's say your opponent doesn't fold, but he has a worse hand. You have more equity in the hand. You have greater than 50% chance of winning the pot by the river. And your opponent calls, or even better, re-raises you. This is fantastic news. You're ahead in the hand and your opponent is making the pot bigger for you. The third and final way we would make money in poker is calling. And to make a profitable call, you've got to understand 3 pretty advanced concepts. So I'll write down the formula, but make sure to watch our 3 videos on each of these concepts right after this. To make a profitable call, you have to compare your equity in the hand, your chance of winning by the river, to your pot odds. If your equity is greater than your pot odds, you have what we call a positive expectation, plus EV, plus expected value.